But what I want to do while I'm telling you about the IBME model is I want to give you a chance to hear from the teens themselves. I had some testimonials up, maybe some. How many of you actually got to read some of those when you came in? What I want to do right now, you can look at what you can read now I'm going to pop on this video of some of the teens in their own, telling the story in their own words. This one young woman in particular, when she came to the retreat, the young one here, at 14, extremely depressed, suicidal, body posture and voice, barely talking, barely showing up, just having a little bit to say. And got something out of that retreat, got something out, came again. Didn't stop being suicidal in between retreats, by the way. But she was actually, through connecting with there was another teen who was being suicidal who she insisted, made a contract with him that he had to call me. So we do wraparound. We try to stay engaged with them in between. We try to create sanghas for the teens where they have regular teen groups in their geographical areas in between the retreats. She is now working for us. She's 18 years old. She's doing really well. I'm really happy. That's her Facebook page picture, by the way, that we snagged from her to put on here. Okay, and you see that incredible statement she made? She found herself actually offering herself kindness in a troubling moment, and what a revelation that was for her. Okay, this is where we want to be.
I came to the IBME retreat because I thought it'd be very nice to have a variety of friends, and I just thought that a little bit of inward mindfulness and empowerment would help me.
The whole experience is so beautiful and real, and every time I come here I just feel so comfortable with everyone because everyone's so open and just ready to hear whatever you need to say.
For the first day, I feel better than I thought I would. I was a little nervous getting out of the car, not having known anybody, and the entire ride up, all my friends that have been here before are saying, oh, I'm going to see this person, I'm going to see this person. I'm like, oh, I don't know anybody.
I came here like kicking and screaming. My mom is so into this stuff, but I'm just like, ugh, do I really have to spend my winter break doing this?
My social worker was telling me about a trip, and like, at first I didn't want to come, but then I was like, let me give it a try, because I was like, kind of like peaceful and yoga and all that stuff. Like, I want to do that.
When you go to school in such a high-stress environment, it's always like, think about your future, think about what colleges you're going to go to, so it's like paralyzing sometimes, which is why I come to the meditation retreats to like renew, kind of being in the present.
I live in a very rough neighborhood. It's very hard growing up where I am, and I can't be myself. I cannot fully express myself. I get judged, and for some odd reason, it can't happen here.
I'm a little nervous, of course, because I've never been meditating for so long.
I used to listen to meditation music to like go to sleep to, but that's about it.
There are mountains on the horizon and the clouds, and every morning just waking up to a totally different view is beautiful.
The biggest thing that stood out for me on the IBME retreats is the community that we create here. It was something that my friends who came here before me told me I really wouldn't believe until I see it, and I really didn't believe it until I saw it. It's absolutely phenomenal, the love and compassion that everybody has for each other, and the fact that that can be recreated in 5 days with a new group of people that come every time.
They are so like caring, understanding, compassionate, open. And you kind of have to be like that here. Maybe they're not like that outside the retreat, but they're like that here.
Everyone you meet here is going to meet you with such love and compassion that you're not going to find anywhere else. I was surprised by how many emotions I had kind of locked away. I had been closing myself off to the world, and I had been hiding what I was really feeling. There's such a supportive atmosphere. It was not hard to open up my heart to all the love. What surprised me about myself on this retreat is how able I was to so easily trust.
You have to be here in order to really experience one of the best things life has to offer, which is to understand how to process everything. You know, understand that sometimes you need to step back and not believe everything you think.
Instead of taking out whatever you're feeling on something else or yourself, if you just notice it and feel what it feels like, it's a lot easier to deal with.
In order to be a mindful human being, there's so much work that needs to be put in, so much searching and so much practicing. But the fact that I now know that it's possible to feel things like I've felt them before, feel a oneness and a beautiful strength, is exciting.
I don't think I ever understood what exactly the present moment was until I was here, because a moment can be so full if you really take the measures to appreciate it.
I was surprised about myself on this retreat to find that I could slow down so much. Things had been really busy back in my life, and to come and to take a few deep breaths to really slow down and think about how life really feels is something that I never thought I'd be able to do.
I think I'm starting on a path of self-worth, and someone really inspiring said that no one deserves your love more than you do.
I learned that the best thing for myself is to love myself.
It can change your life in ways that you could never even imagine.
If anyone's wondering if they should come or not, I think they should definitely go. It's an amazing experience, and I feel like everyone deserves to experience what happens here.
I just love it here. So it was that. It's green, it's natural, the people.
I've never met a single person here that has walked away not loving the experience they had.
So take a breath. Notice what that feels like. Knowing what is possible for teenagers to experience, again, what they're capable of. That one kid who spoke about his neighborhood. It's good to have him along. That's where I grew up. One of the girls was holding one of the slips of paper in their hand. These are the commitments the kids make to each other to create the experience. Knowing how deeply our lives intertwine, I undertake the commitment to protect life. Knowing how deeply our lives intertwine, I undertake the commitment to take only what is offered to me. Knowing how deeply our lives intertwine, I undertake the commitment to be celibate while on this retreat. Knowing how deeply our lives intertwine, I undertake the commitment to speak truthfully and kindly. Knowing how deeply our lives intertwine, I undertake the commitment not to use drugs or alcohol while on this retreat. And when they leave the retreat, they repeat them again for themselves and for their community, and with one exception, knowing how deeply our lives intertwine, I undertake the commitment to use my sexuality wisely and to protect relationships. So it says a lot about what teens are capable of and what they're really interested in being involved in terms of engaging, connecting, and going deeper. That they can tell the truth, that they have an amazing kindness inside of them, that they're capable of stillness, they're capable of depth, and of course the wisdom that's in them. So what we do, we have them doing mindfulness practices throughout the day. A significant portion of the day is spent in silence and doing practices, sitting, walking practices. But then we also take them into small group discussions twice a day. So again, the retreat does that breathing from the practicing with the whole group and the whole community to going into a touch-tone group twice a day, having about 6 teens to 2 adults, a male and a female facilitator. And in the small group, they go in even deeper. and that sense of authentic relating and really telling their story, getting a chance to really be seen and be heard by their peers. And when one of them does it, it takes that risk, another one does it. And so we start by playing games to loosen it up in there as well, and we take them, again, it depends. Some of the teens who've been coming time and again, they take them down deep pretty quick with each other. But what they do is they get that sense of self-identity because they get to tell their story, their whole story. And those kids end up hearing from each other, the kids from the rougher neighborhoods who think, you know, the only thing wrong with my life is that I don't have, you know, my family doesn't have money and my parents aren't together, and if I had all that stuff, life would be great. And they get to hear from some of these more affluent kids who come, who have all that stuff, and guess what? They're struggling and suffering in their life a little bit at times. And then those kids who think, you know, life is such a bummer because I don't have that new thing I want, or because my mom doesn't let me do everything I want or whatever, hears from the other kid that, you know, I wish I had a mom in my life, or I wish I had, you know, some other things. So they realize, oh, I'm not the only one who's struggling. Other people are. So they get this sense of like, shared sense of like, life is hard sometimes. Life is hard a lot. But I also, each one of us has our own dreams and our aspirations, and that's true too. So they begin to get a more expanded sense of the world, you know, because that teen time when you can get just so in your little zone of your own world, your peer group, and what you think you need in that moment, and that impulsive moment. So they begin to get a more expanded sense of the world through each other, not from adults telling them there's a bigger world out there. They get it from each other.